Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. How is everyone?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I bought your magazine today.
Got 3 copies.
I'm a groupie.
I was like, how many do I get? How many do I get? 3. Well, I didn't think it was out because they said the date that it was coming. So I was like, right. So when I went into Morrison's this morning, they had one on, the stand by the door where they have the
Yeah.
papers. And I was thinking, well, that doesn't make any sense. It's got the 13th on it, which is obviously today, but it said issue 19, and she told me it was issue 20. So I was thinking, I went through it, and I was on the phone to my mum at the time, going, "No, I'm not in this. They must have got the issues wrong." But then I went round the other side to where the papers were, and it was there. I was very confused.
Yeah, in my shop they had this yours and they had the week before as well. So I had to
Yeah,
go back onto Instagram and figure out which one it was.
yeah. I think it's because she said the 13th, but it's actually the 20th. It says
Mine
on
says
it.
it's 20.
Exactly, it says issue 20, 20th of
Yeah.
May, whereas the other one said issue 19, the 13th. She told me it was out on the 13th, but it was issue 20. So it was 20 and 20.
Good job you spotted it.
I was going to go, no, I'm not in there.
So what do they do? Do they actually just come and interview you?
No, this has taken an awful long time to do. When I was in the paper a couple of years ago, so I got contacted by someone that had seen me on Connect, but on Instagram. She contacted me on Instagram, and she was a reporter. Um, she did the interview for me for the paper.
Right.
So once you're in the Sun got the exclusive, and then the next day hello. So the Sun got the exclusive, and then the next day it came out in I think I got the Mirror Online and a couple of others. So the Sun got the exclusive one, and then the other ones got it, and then they put it out to features, which is the mags. So that got picked up sort of 2 years ago, but it's taken this long for it to, for some reason, to come out. So
Gosh, I didn't realise it took that long.
yeah, I don't think it normally does. I think it was the person that was doing the feature took a little bit too long to actually write it.
We
But
blame
when
COVID.
she wrote it, they then pass it on to That's Life. So the woman that did the actual article was reading this story to me, and I was going, "That's not me." She got my Carl's name wrong. She got loads wrong, and I was going, "But that's not me. That's not." So basically, the woman that then did it had to rewrite the whole story and take stuff out, and then we had to put even more stuff in because it was like some bits were right, but some bits were like totally wrong. And I went, "You can't do that." I said, "People are well aware of my story online, so you can't just fudge and say and make stuff up." I said, "Because it needs to be accurate. I want it to be accurate, obviously." So, hello everybody. Sorry, we're just talking about That's Life today, if anyone
Oh, brilliant.
doesn't know. So, yeah, it's taken a little while for it to come out, but now it's out. Thank God. So, and I'm leaving Weight Watchers, and I've just got an email saying I've got a free month because someone used my code. So I don't know how that's going to work because I've already cancelled.
Oh, and they didn't put up a fight. They should have.
No. Hello. No one said anything. So, I mean, the iTrack Bites app is a pain, but now I've got my basics in because I double check what Weight Watchers have put in anyway. I always have, so it's not a big problem for me to actually double check the iTrack Bites app either. So the scanner works absolutely fine, and then hello, and then I just double check, or if it's not up, I then put it in myself, and it's all in my food then. So I never use the search function on the actual app. Hello.
I recommended that one to you. Do you remember?
I've had it for about a year, but because it's American, it was a bit of a pain,
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, do I really want to try it?" And then it was like, "Well, hang on a minute, I'm double checking everything that WW do anyway, so
yeah.
it's not that much of an issue. Plus the fact I'm just going to be paying WW forever and ever and ever and ever.
Yeah, I've downloaded it today just to have a look, and obviously with it being, was it 26? Well, one of it was £26 a year or something, or
it makes it. I mean, I don't pay because I do the green plan, which is the Sugar Smarts, and that's actually free. I think there's only a couple of plans that you have to pay for. I'm not sure if it's purple or blue, but they've even got the old Pro Points plan on. So I follow people on Instagram that still do the old Pro Points, where you point apples and bananas and everything. So I follow a couple of people that do that, so it literally does everything. But like I said, someone did mention to me that they've paid the £26 and you get a little bit more foods from, I think, Costa's. I think they've got some Costa and stuff on there, but I've inputted that myself anyway because all the nutritional information's online.
Okay, that's quite good to know. It's just I saw it earlier when I watched the video earlier, and I looked at it and I thought, well, I'll just give it a go and see what it actually like. And it's actually come up with a Weight Watchers thing already with the points and the dailies, because I'm doing green plan as well now. So
you just go in and then, because they've got like loads of different ones. I mean, I think they even do calorie counting on there as well, so they've got loads. So you just pick the one that's sort of right for you. So obviously the Sugar Smarts is the green plan, so it gives you the 30 and your dailies and your weeklies as well. So
is the food preloaded in it then?
That's the problem. It's not. Some is, but because it's American. Hello everybody that's just joined, hello. Because it's American type food. So when you put in chicken breast, it comes up with ounces. So I've put chicken breast in myself and it's all in my food then. Because I tend to eat sort of similar stuff. And if not, I can always scan it. So it is a bit of a pain. And whereas WW, it's all in there for you. This, you have to do a little bit of work. But then once it's in... It
stays in, does it? So it keeps the information. Yeah. Oh, so you only have to do it once.
Yeah, so you only have to do it once, and then it's in the My Food section. So once it's there, it's there. So, but it's the same with WW. If I scan something, I scanned a ready meal at Marks and Spencer's today, and it was exactly the same in the WW app as it was in the iTrack Bites app. But for weirdly, it was a small ready meal, but it only had half a portion. And I thought, well, that's a bit strange. And it was in the WW and the iTrack Bite, and I thought, who has half a portion of this tiny ready meal? But it was nice. It was the braised, because the wellness wins at the moment, I've got loads of wellness wins to use up, and one came up yesterday for the Count On Us voucher. So you get £5 Count On Us voucher from Marks and Spencer's. So I just bought 2 ready meals today with that. So, but yeah, the braised beef one was 5 points, and it comes with crushed carrots and crushed potatoes. So it's quite nice for 5 points. It was really nice.
Yeah, they have some nice ones in that M&S range. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. I didn't know they had the Count On Us voucher on.
No, it came up, and I thought, what's that Count On Us? And I clicked on it, and I was like, what's Count On Us? That sounds familiar. Let me Google it. I was like, oh, that's M&S. I'll get that. So, but yeah. So the other app is a pain in the bum, but I've been paying WW for 5 years now. So, and I can continue to pay it, but it's one of those. Do I really want to keep paying?
Yeah, it's a lot of money, isn't it? And if you're doing what you're doing and can do it somewhere else at a cheaper rate, that's why I switched from Slimming because it was £5 extra. So I thought, well, if I go Weight Watchers for a little while and just try it. Yeah. And see how it goes, and then try and see if I can find an alternative later on.
Thing is, I love the Weight Watchers plan. It's worked wonders for me. I absolutely love it. It keeps me on track. I can eat exactly what I want. But it's got to the point where I'm like, do I really want to pay $6.95 a month? That's 2 coffees.
You've been giving me some very lovely ideas. I only have a little Morrison's, well, where I live, and then I have to go to the city for everything else. But no, I've had some awesome ideas, so I'm really pleased. And thank you for doing, the stuff you're doing.
People have always asked what kind of food I eat, and I mean, my friend will turn around and say, well, can you do a menu plan? And I'm like, just go and look at my YouTube. I don't write a menu plan for myself, so I ain't writing one for you. Just go and have a look at my YouTube.
So will you still be able to go to Weight Watchers and get weighed? Because you're a gold member, you can just carry on. You can still go to there. And when the workshops come back, you could still go.
The workshops are open now. I can so I can go now as long as I'm under goal. That's it's £5 above. So 30. As long as I'm under 13 stone 5, I can go and get weighed for free. So I can still do that because I didn't realise they still did it until I was sat in a group about a year or so ago, and someone said, "Oh no, I don't have the app. I get weighed for free though." Because I just thought that everyone had the app.
Yeah.
But they sort of keep that little bit quiet. But then you do need the app. If I didn't know about this iTrack Bites, I'd have had to stayed. So, but yeah, it's when you just sit there and go, it's only $6.95 a month, but it's $6.95 every single month.
Yeah. Yeah, there should be some sort of loyalty scheme or something to say you've stayed and you've maintained. You know, even if you don't do it at the beginning, even if you maintain for a year,
exactly,
you can then just something to keep you there.
Well, it was because when the last time I did one of these, there were quite a few American ladies on there, and they were like, "No, when we get to goal, it's free." Their leeway is a little bit different. They can go as far as under as their bottom BMI, but they can only go £2 over goal. So you just set your goal a little bit higher, don't you? And then so that you've got a little bit more leeway. But yeah, that's what they turned around and said is if they get lifetime membership and it's free, they get free access to the app. Whereas I was told the reason they got rid of No Count a couple of years ago was because they wanted to make it even across the world. They wanted everything the same across the world. And it's like, well, that's not the same, is it? Because we have to pay and they don't.
And what have customer service said when you've asked them?
I just messaged them on the chat and said, can I leave? And I did double check. I said, can I still go and get weighed in class? As long as you're under goal, yeah, that's absolutely fine. As long as you're within your goal range, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine, you can go.
But they can't give an explanation as to why it's different in the US than us. Because they did bring us in line, didn't they, like you said?
That was because we got No Count. I think everything they did that. I think America had the one before that. I can't remember what that one was called. That was before my time, but there was another one that was similar to No Count. Then they changed it to No Count, but America never had that. I think we were the only country that had No Count, so that was the reason that they got rid of it, because they wanted the blue plan across the board.
Right.
But then they lost an awful lot of people when they got rid of the old Smart Points, which is the green plan, and brought the blue plan in. A lot of people left because it just, even though it's only 7 points a day difference, it is a huge amount of points.
I prefer the green plan.
When you don't eat a lot of like lentils, you don't eat a lot of chicken breast and stuff, it is a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah, and I found that, because I did blue, and I just found that I was just going to eat chicken and eggs and fish. And I remember sitting in a restaurant once and somebody said, "What do you want?" And I was like, well, and I was looking, I always went to the chicken and fish, always. And I mean, it was my daughter who said, "Well, what do you fancy?" And I went, "Do you know what? I really don't know, because all I do is go for chicken, fish and eggs, because that's why wouldn't I? Because it's free." So that's when I thought, all right, I'm going back. I need to do green here because I need to understand what my taste buds want.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, egg-wise, I'll have like an egg every couple of weeks. But then I'll always go for 3 eggs because I'd rather spend 5 points on 3 eggs than 4 points on 2.
4 on 2. Yeah.
I'm like, hang on a minute. Might as well have the extra egg for another point. So I just sit there and go, might as well have an extra egg for that one more point. But chicken
definitely.
breast,
I never thought of it that way.
You see, I'll have chicken breast now, but that's because I choose to have chicken breast. Whereas when it was forced upon me, it was like, I can't look at another chicken breast. I really can't. But you see, I don't eat an awful lot of fish either, so it was literally chicken and eggs for me. Chicken and eggs. The odd tin of tuna, chicken and eggs. But yeah, so it was, I mean, the blue plan I really struggled to lose on as well. I don't know what it was. But then I'd feel hungry. I wouldn't feel satisfied. And then I'd be going and eating a pot of yoghurt, natural yoghurt, just to feel full. And then obviously it's yoghurt, so I wasn't. So yeah, I know an awful lot of people have done really, really well on the blue plan, but it's just really not for me. And then I thought I'd like purple, but they didn't bring any extra meat in either. I thought they'd at least bring like lean beef and lean pork and stuff like that, but they never did. So
I think I sort of was on, when I first joined, I did blue, and I thought, this is not, it's no good for me, it didn't work. And then I did purple, because it was similar to what I did before with Slim and Well, so you could, and I thought, oh God, my brain. And I was still stuck in that thing, so I thought, no, I'm going to give Green Plan a go after, and I thought, yeah, I'm enjoying it, it's good. And I can actually have stuff that is in my cupboards that needs eating up, like cereal and those kind of things.
Whereas I'd actually and ah about having cereal and stuff and porridge and things on the blue plan, because I was like, I've only got 23 points. If I have porridge, you're looking at least, if I have one of the pot ones, you're looking at least like 6, 7, 8 points.
Yeah.
That's an awful huge amount of points out of you. And then you just think, I'm stuck with chicken breast again. Chicken breast again.
Breakfast, dinner and tea.
Yeah. I'll have eggs and chicken and then chicken and eggs. So, yeah. But no, I do. It's the Green Plan is amazing. It is really good. I think the Weight Watchers plan is amazing. But yeah, I'm not prepared to pay forever. It's just, like I said, it's two of my new Starbucks drinks that I found.
Yeah.
The nut blend from Starbucks is quite expensive, so it's 2 of them. So has anyone got any questions today? Or are we just going to have a chat?
Have you finished your bagels?
Sorry?
Have you finished your
I've
bagels?
finished, there's 4 in a pack. Normally there's 5, I think. But I've just bought some more. Went to Morrison's earlier to get the magazine.
I've got the seeded ones with the garlic and onion. They're quite nice as well.
Yeah. No, those cheese ones are absolutely lovely. And I'd rather have a proper bagel than a bagel thin as well. Bagel thin, I'm fine if it's on a burger, because obviously I've got the burger as well, so the point's in that. But when I'm just having a bagel, I'm like, no, I'd rather have something that I feel like is substantial rather than something that's, so.
I'm always intrigued how you come up with so many different finds from wherever you're shopping. So you seem to find a lot of stuff where, and I don't like this because I just go and think, I know the points of that, so I'm going to get that because I'm stick to it. But so what do? Do you see something and think, I like that, I like the look of that, I'll scan it? Is that how you do? So you just constantly.
Yeah. I mean, if I go into sort of like Heron's a perfect example, because they tend to have a lot of the new stuff in. If it's things like crisps and things, I know they're going to be around 2 or 3 points for like for ones like those. The Ringos, they're going to be around 2 or 3 points. For Walkers and proper crisps, they're going to be around 4. So I know the kind of points that they're going to be for those. And then I walked into Heron and saw those loaded bite things. I was like, oh yeah, I'm having them. Didn't even scan them in the shop. I was like, yeah, I'm having them. They'll probably be around 3 points. I was quite surprised that there were 2. So, but yeah, it's more like when I'm walking around. I go to certain sections. So you go to the crisp. I'll go to the crisp section. Go to the yogurt section. It's part of my thing, and the chocolate section. And then I just stand there staring at chocolate for about 10 minutes and then go, no, I can't have that. Although when I went to B&M the other day, that was a killer. Shouldn't have gone in there, B&M.
I couldn't have resisted that either.
It's that hedgehog bar, the dairy milk hedgehog that I had the other day, was absolutely lovely. It was so nice. Toasted coconut with almonds and biscuit.
Oh, that would be nice.
So nice. I've got some more to try, but I had to remortgage just to get them. I think I bought some crisps from a partner, and I think altogether it came to about £18 for a few bars of chocolate and some crisps. I was like, oh my. But then when I go into Aldi, I always spend a fortune, and I'm like, the person in front of me's got a trolley and they spend like 30 quid, and I've got a basket and mine's 25, and I'm thinking, what have I brought? But then I buy quite a lot of Pink Lady apples, so they're like £2.50, £3.
Yeah, they are expensive.
So it's only when you sort of get there and you go, hang on a minute, that sounds about right. Normally I'm like, hang on a minute, that doesn't, yeah, it's right.
So do B&M do that chocolate that nobody else, that you can't get them in any other shops?
It's imported from Australia. They've started to import some. So they've got all of that is Australian, I think. But yeah, it does look. I was like, well, what to get. I've got some big bars.
I got it
I
all.
haven't touched them yet. No, I didn't get it all. Nearly did. I was like that. Because I was looking at some of them and I was going, oh, that looks nice. And then I was thinking, well, hang on a minute. Would I eat that? Because they had like a Neapolitan one which had like a strawberry, which looked quite nice. And then I thought, well, I'd like strawberry chocolate. No, I won't. So, hang on, where's my chat function? Do I ever go to the greengrocers for fruit? Sure they do, Pink Ladies. Yeah, I did go to the greengrocers. Did you see my huge cucumber that I bought? It was absolutely massive. It was about that thick and it was that long. It was huge. But yeah, the Pink Ladies, I just go to Aldi because they tend to have them on offer, or Morrison's because I got the NHS discount. And they tend to have them on offer in Morrison's sometimes anyway. So I'll go there. But yeah, it's not
two
even...
for £3, aren't they?
Yeah.
They tend to be around that price everywhere. So, but it's more the crunch I like. I think I've got a bit of that pica thing where I just like the crunch of it rather than, like I need an apple because I need the crunch. So, but yeah, I do occasionally pop to, but then I forget about the greengrocers and stuff. I tend to have my main go-to shops. But then I live in Birmingham, so I've got loads. Of choice.
Yeah.
I work in the community as well, so if I'm going anywhere, I can go, right, there's that shop by there, I can pop in there on my lunch and just grab something. So I'm quite lucky in that respect. So that's why I go to so many. Like today, it was like, right, I need to go to M&S, so I'm going over there anyway. I'm in that area, I'll pop to M&S. And then round the corner there's a Starbucks, so I can go there as well.
Good plan.
Yeah, plan it well. I'm like, right, where am I? Where do I need to visit? Right, I need to visit that place. Yes, there's that and that there, so that's on fine. So, but yes. But my partner came home early and he went, do you want a Chinese? And he doesn't even like Chinese. And I was like, oh, I don't want a Chinese. And I was like, no, I can't do a Chinese. I said, I've got that thingy later. I've got my Google Meet, so I can't have a Chinese. So you saved me from a Chinese. I don't think I can do a Chinese on plan. I think that's the one takeaway that I think I really would struggle to do it on plan with, because it is quite pointy.
What would you normally get them from a Chinese if you got one?
If I got one, I tend to go for one of the set menus. So you're looking at like the chicken balls and stuff. Because else I end up spending a fortune if I go for like bits and pieces. So I tended, because he never used to get one, I used to like get that and then he'd get a curry. So I'd go, right, it's cheaper for me to just get a set menu, because if I get bits and pieces, you're looking at least, 20-25 quid for one person. Whereas if I get the set menu, you're looking at about 13-15 quid. So it is a huge difference. So, does he, so she's asked, does he eat what I eat? Cole doesn't eat what I eat. We eat very different foods. We always have. He even when I was bigger, I'd sort of cook 2 lots of meat because he likes lamb. And I do like lamb, but not as much as he does. So I prefer pork. So I'd always sort of do two different types of meat or 2 different types of meals. Occasionally we'll have like lasagna together and stuff, but a lot of it is we'd have separate. So Poppy's asked, have I tried the M&S ultra thin pizzas? They're on my list to buy 12 points for the pizza. I've just bought 2 of those because you're not supposed to freeze them, but I have. I've frozen them before and they're absolutely fine. I don't know why you can't freeze them. So I've just bought 2 because they were both cheap. The one that I had was 14 points though. It was the mozzarella. So that's a little bit pointier. I think the salami one is the 12-point ones. But they are really nice. I had one for lunch. It's funny you should ask. I had one for lunch. I had Marks and Spencer's pizza for lunch and then I had the ready meal for tea. It's been a Marks and Spencer's day today. So, but yeah, where me and Carl are concerned, I think that's why when I got rid of all the food at the very beginning of my journey, I was quite lucky in the fact that he eats different sweets and savoury stuff, treats to me. He likes things like Monster Munch pickled onion, which I can't stand, and he likes Turkish Delight, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I could still get him treats, but I don't have to eat them because I just wouldn't. It's not even something that I'd contemplate eating. So I'm quite lucky in that. Did you like going abroad? We haven't been on holiday for quite a while. The last time we went to New York, and that was quite a few years ago. I had two quite elderly pets at one point that I couldn't leave. They were both blind, and it really wasn't fair. And then we just haven't been after that. Sort of got out of the routine. But yeah, I had two quite elderly pets that I didn't want to leave on their own. And now my new cat, there's no way I can take her to a cattery. She'd go mad. She's a bit psychotic. She'd never forgive me. When I put my dog and my cat in kennels when we went away last time, before they got old, the cat didn't speak to me for about a week afterwards. This one would be horrendous.
So when you're on holiday, how do you stay on plan?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
The first few years when I was losing weight, I had two pets. So it wasn't until sort of 2 years into it that I lost them both. So after that, I'd already nearly complete. I'd only got 1 year left on my journey, so I was sort of like, and then it's just if I'm going away, I won't point anything. And I know other people that are in the same boat, but then I know people that have lost an awful lot of weight, gone on holiday and put 1.5 stone on 2 stone, just from 2 weeks away. But then that's water weight from the heat, water weight from the plane, and from the food. So a lot of that comes off quite quickly. So, but it's the excess skin and stuff doesn't help, and the fact that we've lost so much weight, it does fill up quite quickly. That's what fills up with liquid. Someone sent me something the other day from someone that lost an awful lot of weight, and she's bulking. Apparently this woman is weightlifting and bulking, and her excess skin is filled up with fluid because of that.
Okay.
So, and then someone else I've just followed on Instagram has had the works done yesterday, I think it was. So she's had arms, legs, stomach, she's had a boob job, she's had the works done. So can't wait for her. She posted this morning, so I was watching on her story. She was talking about, she'd only just come out of surgery, so she was talking about what pain levels were and stuff, so what her pain levels were, and then she was saying, and so I messaged her earlier because she does look fantastic already. You can see the definition and stuff of what they've done. And I said, oh, when are you out? And she said, oh, she's not out till Saturday. They were hoping Friday, but it's going to be Saturday now. So, but then someone else that I was talking to, she was due to have hers done last April, I think. And obviously because of COVID, it's been put off. I don't know if she's still going to have it done. But she was saying that her surgeon, which is the one that I want, won't do the full lot at once. He'll do it part one day and then back in surgery the next to do the rest. He won't do it all at once. But you're looking at least 8 hours for just like it's parts of it.
So would you have it done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's expensive. It's about 40
Yeah.
grand. And that's not even with the flights out and the fact that you've got to stay there, because it's he does, the one that I want does a specific kind of surgery. He does a corset body lift. So basically,
right.
he cuts down here. So normally what they do is like the fleur-de-lis one. He'll cut down here and basically they pull it round he pulls it round like a corset. You don't need drains for his either. And obviously then you get, because I've got skin on my back, that all gets pulled round as well.
Right.
So, but he's amazing. I mean, if you Google corset body lift, he'll pop up because he's the only one that does it. But he is absolutely amazing for what he does. He's absolutely brilliant. But it's about 40 grand. But that's for everything.
That's a lot of money.
It's an awful lot. That's for the corset body lift. That's for your legs, your arms, and your boobs. So basically, you just brand new, brand new and tight. But yeah.
So if you had 40 grand, would you spend it on that, or would you put it towards a house,
No,
or do
I'd
something
go and
else?
do that. I'd go and do that. The excess skin is it does affect you quite a lot. It does, because that's all I see when I look down. So even though I can look in the mirror and go, yeah, I'm fine, I'll look down and go, no, I'm not. And I mean, from the pictures that I've posted on sort of Instagram and stuff, an awful lot, it does. I'd probably be around a size 8 to 10 on the bottom half if I didn't have that. So it does make a huge difference.
I could have me.
So, and I mean, like, even my arms, is that I couldn't go out. I couldn't go out without a
Are there other ways that are cheaper?
Sorry?
Are there other ways of doing it that are cheaper than that one?
There are. I mean, I could have it done in the UK, but you're still talking about quite a bit of money, and it's not exactly what I want doing either.
Yeah.
Because I can have a fleur-de-lis and that would be fine, but then that wouldn't address the stuff on my back necessarily. It would help a little bit, but it wouldn't help with the whole thing and stuff. So obviously it's very dependent on where I can go. So I could have it done in the UK, but then you're still looking at quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
And then you've got people that go abroad for it as well. So again, it's there are options, but then it depends what you want and what your end result is. I mean, I've looked at a couple of surgeons. There are people on Instagram that have lost a huge amount of weight, and they tend to go for certain surgeons. So I've looked at 2 specific ones: the one that does the composite body lift, and then there's one that does a body sculpting as well, and he's brilliant. So there are 2, but they're both based in America. So I mean, it's the same thing when people say about the NHS. The consultant won't even see me to start off with. Plus the fact they won't actually do what I wanted.
Yeah.
They literally, the only thing the NHS will do is your stomach. They won't do your arms, they won't do your legs. They'll literally only do your stomach, and it's only in exceptional circumstances. And all it would be the fleur-de-lis. So it wouldn't be what I wanted anyway. So it's one of those. I'll stick with what I've got. If I win the lottery, that's brilliant. If not, Poppy said the corset lift looks incredible. I don't think that anybody else. She's put they've started doing it over a few years ago. I don't think anyone else does it. I think he's patented it or something. I've never seen anyone else do the corset except for him. I mean, even in the States, I'm sure I've Googled it, and he literally is the only one that pops up. Unless he's sold the whatever it is that he does on. But it's not pleasant to look at. So if you're a bit squeamish, I wouldn't even Google it. Because it's like some of the pictures on Instagram are like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because it's like literally he will hold up the bit that he takes off. So he's just standing there with a bare skin. It's not the most pleasant of things to look at. But even I'm like, I can sort of put up with that to a certain, but even sometimes, especially first thing in the morning, I'm going, no, I can't look at that. That's just too early for me. So, but yeah, it's the skin is a big issue, but it is what it is. I knew I was going to have it, and it's not actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a hell of a lot worse. It's bad, but it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a lot worse. So, has anyone got any other questions?
You know, when you've had a huge gain, how do you get the motivation to keep going? Because I had a huge gain this week because I've been poorly, and I just fed up.
Thing is with me, it's a combination of a few things. I can't eat the way I used to eat anymore. I literally can't. It's I feel unwell after a couple of days of eating like that, and I really want to get back on it. So it's the combination of I need fruit and veg. It makes a huge thing for me because I've been doing it for so long. But it's also I know I'm going to have a gain. I totally understand I'm going to have a gain. I'm a daily weigher, so even when I don't deserve a gain, I know it's coming because I've seen it creep up. I'm quite surprised I lost this week because 2 days ago I weighed exactly the same as I did last week. So I've lost £4 in 2 days. But so I sort of know that it's coming, and I just go, but this is a lifestyle change. So even if I stop doing what I'm doing, then I'm just going to put more weight on. Whereas if I get back on plan, it's going to take me a little while to get it off, but I've got to keep doing this anyway. So it's one of those. It's the good thing about following the WW plan is you can still have your treats. So you can make the decision. It depends what you're weighing day. What day do you weigh in? Is it today?
Monday. So I gained £7 this week. I weighed in on Monday. The weekend I was poorly, so I went off plan. And like you, I can put a massive amount on and then lose it. But this week, I don't know. I'm just a bit.
If you've been poorly as well, the thing is your motivation goes. That's fine. The thing is your motivation goes a bit low anyway. So because you've been poorly, your motivation is going to be low. Plus the fact that you've had your gain, which is because you've been poorly. So your motivation isn't going to be as good as it would. So from, it depends how you've been for the rest of the week. But what I'd do is I'd just go, tomorrow I'm going to start again. I'm going to do tomorrow as if it was my weighing day. And I'm just going to start my week again. So write off anything else that's happened this week because that doesn't matter. And then just start afresh tomorrow. I have been known to change my weighing day. Like I've put on one of my other videos, what I do is, I don't know what plan are you on? I don't think that makes any difference. If you've got 42 weeks, if you're on the Weight Watchers and you've got 42 weeklies, what I do is just divide these. So you've got 6 for Friday, 6 for Saturday, and 6 for Sunday. So I'd give yourself 18 points. give yourself 18 points. My maths is terrible. Give yourself 18 points for the weekend. Use them if you want them, or write them off if you don't. It's entirely up to you. And then just either reset from tomorrow and just change your weighing day for the next couple of days, for the next week or so, or just give yourself 18 points for over the weekend. Use them if you want. If you don't use them, it's not a big deal. Just gives you that little bit of leeway, and I think it changes the way that your head is. Because I know if I've had a bad week and I've eaten all my weeklies on Thursday and Friday, that sets me up for failure for the rest of that week, because I've got no weeklies left. So as far as I'm concerned, I would rather go, do you know what, I'm going to start afresh. I'm going to give myself that leeway with the points, and even if I don't use them, it's not a big deal, because when you look at it and go, I've only got 30 points a day for the rest of the week, it's really horrible. It really messes with your head. And you go, am I going to be able to stick to 30 points? And then you wake up in the morning, your first thought is, oh God, I've only got 30 points today. How am I going to deal with that? Oh, I'm not going to be able to have this, that and the other. Whereas if I give myself 6 points a day out of my weeklies, even if I don't have them, it just gives me that little bit of leeway. If I don't use them, that's fine. But in my head, I've still got them because they're there. So if I get to the end of the day and then I don't use them, it's fine. But if I do, I'm not going to feel guilty about it. It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, seeing the negative points, your weeklies, seeing it minus something, it just doesn't help, does it?
I don't even. If I have a day off, I literally don't put it in the app, because if I see minuses, that's it for the rest of the week. So I know some people do it and they put it in and they go, right, I'm going to pull it back. But if I had 26 points a day for the rest of it, if I ate like a piggy today and then I just gave myself 26 points for the rest of the weekend and next week till next Wednesday, I know I'd go off plan again. I would lose the plot and it probably would be sooner rather than later. I might be able to hold off till about Sunday, but Sunday I'd have lost the plot again, because I'd wake up every morning thinking, I've got to use 26 points today. What am I going to have? And then I'm automatically on the back foot. I'm in the net. I'm already thinking negatively. Whereas if I wake up and go, right, I've got 30 dailies, that's great. Oh, I've got 6 weeklies just in case I need them. So I can have that chocolate bar if I want. I can have that packet of crisps at the end of the day if I need it. So it's just shifting your mindset slightly. Like I said, it's entirely up to you. You can reset your weighing day for a couple of weeks, just to Friday if you wanted to, or just give yourself 6 points a day till Monday, and then it's totally reset anyway. So I'll even go into the app and make sure that I've got. So if my weighing day was Monday and I was doing it, I'd just give myself make sure I had 18 points in my weeklies, and then tomorrow if I only used 30, I would take 6 off. I'll just quick add 6 and get rid of them. So it just gives you that little bit of leeway, and it gives me a breather. I don't feel like I'm not setting myself up for failure, which I know I would if I pulled back for the rest of the week.
Yeah, thank you very much. Because seeing it in negative, it just makes you think, well, stuff it today, I won't bother. Yeah. And then tomorrow I think, oh well, no. So I think I'm going to just reset it all, and then otherwise it's just going to get worse, isn't it? I'm just going to put more on and more on.
No, because that's it. Because I think we were always waiting for weighing day, and that's the problem. So I'm always waiting for weighing day, and then I can reset. And it's like, well, actually, no, I can reset any day that I want to reset. It doesn't make any difference. If I've gone off plan, I never feel guilty for it, because there's no point. That again, that messes with my head. That gives me a very negative mindset, so I'm not going to do it. So in my head, I'm like, right, I've had a day off. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, no. Well, that's fine. But it's looking at what I've eaten on those days off as well, and whether I've enjoyed that, because that also makes a huge difference. Because a lot of the time, it's like, did I enjoy that food that I ate? Because if I don't, I know next time that I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah. Hello. I'm Connie.
Hello, Connie.
I'm in Kentucky.
Hello.
Thank you for everything. I really enjoy following you. First, how do you say your first name?
Sarah. Kayaksa is not my name. Kayaksa is the name that I had on the WW Connect site. It's my gamer name. So when I set up my Connect, that's what everyone knows me as on Connect. So when I set up Instagram, I was like, well, I better use the same name, because that's what people know me as, and it's just carried on. But my name is Sarah. Kayaksa is my gamer name, and that's what I use.
Okay, I have a question about, you talk about you waited and it was actually X number of points instead of what was on the package.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Can you tell me about that?
So if I have, let me give you an example. If I have a slice of bread, I will change it in the app to grams. So from slice, I'll change it to grams. Then I'll weigh that slice of bread, and whatever that weight is, I'll change it on the app to grams. And sometimes it's not the same. So that's what I do. So I weigh everything in grams. So if you go into the WW app, I don't know what it is in the States, but I know on ours, it will give us a serving, and then at the bottom it will tell us what that serving is. So whether that's a slice or 50 grams or whatever.
Yes.
Or you can change it from that to, I'll show you on the app. Well, I've still got it.
We have the option of sometimes of grams or ounces or cups or whatever. Sometimes it's serving and it doesn't give you an option for anything. But for the most part, it will give you ounces or cups or grams or whatever.
Thing is, if it doesn't do that, what I'd do is I would then look at the packet, I'd put it in the calculator myself in grams, and then I'd do it like that. So a lot of our food, so if I go to certain supermarkets, a lot of our food will be, it'll either say as it is, or it'll say cooked, and it'll say grilled. So sausages, it'll say grilled weight. Aldi bacon over here is grilled weight. So I will grill it and weigh it because it's never the same. So I don't know if you can see that.
I can see. Yeah.
So that's a toasty bread. So if it says servings is 1 slice, so what I would tend to do is go in and change that to grams, weigh the slice of bread. So like this, 2 slices of that bread comes up as 7 points, I think. Whereas if I weigh the Warburton's toasty bread myself, it always comes up as 6 points. Because it's
gotcha.
Warburton's is like that. So when I say that, it's because either the nutrition information on the pack says that it's cooked weight, whereas a lot of the bread isn't. So bread I will weigh raw, but sausages I'll do cooked if it says grilled, whereas some things will say raw weight. So it depends how I point it. So if I do a jacket potato, if I do a baked potato, I'll weigh it raw and put it in the app raw in grams. I won't put it in as a serving. So that's the same with rice and pasta. I always weigh dry rather than cooked.
Okay.
So because I want my portions to be accurate, I'm the only one that tends to have the pasta, so I know that that's all going to be for me, and that's how much it is. So when I say that, that's what I do.
I wanted to thank you about this. The stewed plums and the stewed fruit on yogurt. It has become I've got plums in the refrigerator right now. I've got stewed pineapple. I've got stewed peaches. It's fabulous. I really, really like that a lot. And I have one more question. I've been at this since July of last year, and I'm getting a lot of diet fatigue. You know, I'm not going to stop because I'm happy being happy.
Yeah.
For a change. It's nice to be, I've lost 26.
Brilliant.
Well but I get diet fatigue, and I want to just freaking eat. Yeah. Do you run into that, and how do you handle it?
I call it pointing fatigue. I get it quite a lot. I just get to the point where I've just had enough of pointing. I just don't want to do it, and I've had enough. And I will get to a point and I'll just go, right, I'm having a day off. I'll have a day off and get back on it the next day. That's enough for me. That one day off is just enough for me to go, right, I feel better now and I'm fine. I do get to it is a thing, and I know a lot of people have it where it's you just fed up of just going, oh, how many points are in that? Because it's so it is so repetitive, but then it's part of my routine now as well, and it does become part of your routine. Me too. And I think you just get to the point where you go, right, I've had enough. But one day off tends to be enough for me to just go, right, I'm ready to get back on it again now.
You know, there's only certain places I can, if we eat out, there's only certain places I can eat. If I actually want to eat something, it's Monday. My husband said, where can you eat? And, there are better, for me, Subway is fabulous because you get a lot of food, a lot of bang for your buck. Cracker Barrel is a country restaurant here, and that one is good. But if I want to go to somewhere fun like Applebee's or Chili's or something like that, I don't think I can find things, because I've got a huge appetite. I want a lot of food for my points. And I get really, I've had some diet fatigue. But I agree with you. I do occasionally say, I'm going to eat it anyway. And I just eat it, but I pick right back up and start over,
I think sometimes
the next day.
That's all you literally need. You just need that, right, I'm having a break. And then the next day I crave fruit and I crave vegetables. And I never did that when I was bigger before, ever. That wasn't a thing. I very rarely had fruit. I have vegetables. I like Brussels sprouts. I always have liked stuff like that. But I've never actually craved them. Whereas my journey this time, if I have a day off, I'll go, actually, I really want an apple, or I really want some vegetables. I want a salad. Yeah. That's never been a thing for me before. So that's how my mindset shifted this time, because I'm actually got to the point where I'm like, I don't want another day off. I don't physically want another day off, and I don't physically need a day off. But I understand how it can spiral. And it could very easily spiral with me, because you wake up after a day off or a couple of days off and you're like, I can't be bothered. I really don't. I could just eat that again. So it would be easy to spiral again, but it's just about having that control just to go, no, actually, I'm not. I've been doing this a long time. Whack a plate on the scales and weighing that. I'm pointing it. And
This time around with Weight Watchers, for me, is different than any other time, because always before there was a beginning and there was an end. And when I got to that number, then I was finished. I knew what I was doing, and I would quit Weight Watchers. And I don't see myself doing that this time, because every time I've gained it all back. Yeah. So, my intention, I really, truly see this as a journey and not a destination, but it makes me sad. I want to, I still want to be able to eat crazy, but I know I can't. And that's just part of it.
I think after a while, it's funny, because even now I'll go in and I'll go, right, I really want a chocolate bar. And then I'll stand there and go, do I really want a chocolate bar? And actually, if I sit and think about it, I don't actually want a chocolate bar. It's just that I'll automatically go, yeah, I want a chocolate bar. But then when I think, do I really want the taste of it? Because I can sort of imagine how it is. Do I really want? No, actually, I don't. I don't really want that. And it has taken me absolutely years and years to get to that point. But then sometimes I do want the chocolate bar and I do want the taste of it. So it's one of those. Sometimes I can stand there and go, no, I don't. And then other times it's like, well, actually, no, I really do want it. And I want the taste and I want it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the longer I stick, I started in July, so I'm coming up on a year. And I'm hoping that the longer I stick with it, the more that this will feel more natural. Right now, it's like I'm making it happen, and I'm glad to do it. It's nice to wake up happy.
Oh no, it does. I think it's. I mean, I've been doing this for 6 years, and even it did take me an awful long time for it just to go, right, this is how it is now. This is how it is, and this is how I want it to be. And do I want to go back to that how I was before? And no, I don't. I don't want that. And actually, I quite like the way I eat now. This is my normal now. This is how I like to eat, and this is my normal.
That sounds good, because it's scary to feel like I would go back the other way.
But they say, they say it's only, I think I read somewhere it's like 21 days or something to have habits. It's not. It took me a long time.
Yes.
And I did Slimming World before I did this. Obviously, I think you had it for a short period of time, Slimming World in the US, but I did Slimming World first. So when I switched to WW, it was about, well, actually, do I really want to eat that? Do I like it? Because a lot of the foods I was eating when I was bigger, I don't actually like. I was just eating them, and I didn't taste a lot of the food. It was just, how much can I get in?
Yes. And I've noticed that food tastes better now than it did when I was just shoving it in.
Yeah. Because you actually spend time, and I think if you sit there and think about what you're eating and whether you're enjoying it, it does make a huge difference. And there's stuff that I've eaten now, and I've pointed and I've gone, do you know what? I'm not going to have that again because I don't actually like it, or that is not worth the points.
I've done that. I agree. Yeah. So those are all of my questions. I think I'm going to keep watching. That's all of my questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it's where weight loss is concerned, it's about learning about yourself as well, and why you do the things that you do, and the habits that you've got, and how you've built them up. Because with me, I had loads of horrendous habits. I'd graze, I'd binge, I'd literally do all sorts. I'd go all day. I'd do like a 13-hour shift at work and not have anything to eat, and then go and get a KFC bucket, eat like half of that, 3/4 of that, and it was a big one. And then I'd eat chocolate, then I'd eat crisps, and then I'd be going to bed about 11 after stuffing my face. Well, actually, I don't need to do that. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah. And another thing I wanted to tell you real quickly, you said that you weigh everything, and I started doing that. I bought a scale, but I wouldn't use it. I would just say, yeah, that's about that much. And I'm actually getting more food now that I'm weighing it than when I was eyeballing it. Yeah. So that's a really good piece of advice. And it's sometimes I'm really hungry and I don't want to take the time, but it's amazing how much more food I get now than I was getting.
I think if you get into the habit of it, because I've got my scales on the side and I've got ones that I can just put a plate on and zero it all the time, so I can plate up and point at the same time. So I sort of know what my meal's going to be. So before I even go and start it, I'll have put in my app that I'm going to have a chicken breast, I'm going to have... So if I'm having a cooked dinner, I'll have chicken breast, I'll have stuffing, I'll have a Yorkshire pudding, and I'll put all that in. Then as I'm plating it up, I can then sort of jiggle with it on the app. So if my chicken breast is weighing more than it should be, I can increase it. If I'm lucky and my Yorkshire pudding weighs a bit less, I can take a point off. So it's literally, my scales are there, my plate's on there, I zero it every time I put something on, and my phone is right next to me, and I can literally go up and down and change it to grams as I'm going along. So, but that's my routine.
Do you have a food that's your kryptonite? We have no-bake chocolate oatmeal cookies. I don't know if they have those in UK, but no-bake chocolate oatmeal cookies. And I'm telling you, if somebody walked in right now with a plate full of them, there would be no stopping me, and I would eat every one of them. They are my kryptonite. Do you have a kryptonite that just...
I have different things because I sort of flip between sweet and savoury. So a lot of the time I'll go savoury, but then sometimes I really, really want something sweet. So it really depends. I mean, today I picked up a coffee and it was, and I'll stand there and go, at the moment, I'm fighting at Starbucks. They've got like a pretzel signature breakfast thing, and it looks so good. And it is 12 points, which isn't too bad for like a bakery.
Not really.
Roll. It's normally around that point. But I'm like, do I really want that? Because I'm spending 5 points on a drink, which is high for points anyway. I'm going, well, do I really want to spend 12 points on that? Because a lot of the time, a milky drink is all I need in the morning. I don't need anything to eat until at least 11,
I've noticed that you don't eat in the mornings, really.
Because I used to work on a ward, and I used to work in older adults. We used to do personal care in the morning, so food, even now, still I'm like, no, I really don't want anything to eat. So milky drinks will literally fill me. I mean, I was really hungry yesterday, really, really hungry yesterday morning, but I had a drink and I was fine. So it's all about with me, right? Am I thirsty and I'm getting my signals muddled up? Have a drink, and if I'm still hungry, then I'll eat. But then there's they've got a load of new cakes in Starbucks as well, so I'll stand there and go, I could just have a cake, but then there's a Krispy Kreme around the corner, and I was like, I could have a Krispy, and I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But it's about just stepping back at those points and going, do I really want that? And half the time I'll go, well, actually, I'm not really hungry, and I'm only having it because I think I should. Like, my partner was at home yesterday, he had a day's annual leave yesterday, and he wanted a McDonald's. So I had a meeting first thing, and I said, right, I need to pop and get some mango, so I'll go and get you a McDonald's. And I actually had to go in because they're doing click and collect now, so you can sit in your car and they'll bring it to your car. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
But the one that I went to didn't. I had to actually go in, and I was like, I could get something, and I was like, but I really don't actually want anything. Thinking about it, I would normally go, yeah, I'll have that. Actually, no, I didn't really want anything. I would just be having it just because it was an option. Yeah. And it's like, it's about stepping back and going, do I want it? Because if I do want it, I can have it. There are stuff that I can have at McDonald's for sort of 20 points for a meal. But then I'm going, will it fill me up? Or shall I go back home and have something less points, and then I can get more for my points? So with me, I'm going, right, I could have like a chicken salad for this many points, but then I can have a packet of crisps and this, whereas I can go to McDonald's and have a meal, and I'll probably be hungry again in 2 hours' time. Yeah.
Well, those were all of my questions. I'm still watching, but thank you. Thank you.
That's fine. Has anyone else got anything? Yeah, Donna weighs in grams as well. I work Monday to Thursday and always end up having a treat on Thursday, even though I weigh in on Sunday. Change your weighing day to Friday. Yeah, if it's about looking at your routines and what you do. So I tend to stick to 30 points on a Thursday because it's my weighing day. So that's what I do. And that's only because I've always had a treat on weighing day. Every other time I've done a weight loss plan, I've always had a takeaway because it's my weighing day, so it's free. It doesn't count. So in my head, I need to stick to those 30 points on that day because that's my control. if I do have a few extra, that's fine. But it's not a treat day. I need it in my head that it is not a treat day. So that's what I do. So, but it's just about looking at your routines and your habits. Because I've changed my weighing days loads. I used to weigh on a Thursday, then I weighed on a Monday, which was good for a bit because then you get your weekend in. And but then what would happen was towards the end, I'd end up saving all my points for the weekend. And if I didn't do anything, I'd be stuck on Sunday with like 30 points to use. So I'd be like, well, that doesn't really help. So that's why I've changed it again I did it on a Saturday for a while, but now I've changed it to Thursday because I prefer it like that. I can stick to my points on Thursday, my 30 points, but then I've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If we do go out anywhere and I do want to use them, I can. But then I've still got the rest of the week to divvy up my points if I don't use them at the weekend. So if I've saved them for like, if we're going out on a Sunday and we end up not going anywhere, I've then still got the rest of the week to divvy my points up.
That's smart.
Because else I'll just sit there and go, right, I've got those points to use. I always use my weekly. I'm not going to use them. So I don't want to end up with like 30 points the day before weighing or 40 points the day before weighing to use, because I will want to use them. So it's just better for me if I just split them. If I don't use them at the weekend, I can then just split them up. So how much of you thinking in a day is about food? You're about 50%. I'm about 75. I just constantly think of food. My partner doesn't get it. It's really odd. I'll phone him up or text him and go, what do you want for dinner? I don't know, I've not thought about it. Literally, I've thought about all day what I'm going to have for my tea. That's literally all I think about. He just doesn't understand. I'm like, I just think about food constantly. Donna's a bit scared to change your weighing day. It's where weighing day is concerned, it is literally all about what's best for you. So if you change it and it doesn't work for you, you can change it back. Or it's just if you look at your week when you use your most points, that's what it is for me. So I know that I'm more likely to use my points on a Friday to a Sunday because that's the weekend. Me and my partner are both off. We're more likely to go out for a meal or have a takeaway on those 3 days. So for me, a weighing day on a Thursday is better because I've got then Friday, Saturday and Sunday to use those weeklies if I need them. And then if I don't, I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that I can then split them up and have 10 a day or 15 one day or whatever. That's just how it is with me. I just find it so much easier to do it like that because it just is. But weighing days, the thing is, I think a lot of it is determined by if you're actually going to go and get weighed. So if you go in and get weighed, you're determined by that day. So mine's normally a Thursday, but because I don't think there is a weigh-in near me on a Thursday. So that's my problem. I will literally go and get weighed, but I will not change the app to change my weighing day. My weighing day will always be a Thursday. That's when my points will reset. So, any more questions?
This isn't really about weight, but I have noticed your engagement ring. Are you getting married?
Me and my partner have been together 21 years this year. I've been engaged 11 years this year. My friend asked me the other day, when are you getting married? I went, I've been with him for years. I went, the most what I'll do is, we were discussing it the other day because we can do a civil partnership now. Anyone can have a civil partnership now instead of getting married. So I was like, do you know what? Could just do that. It's a lot cheaper. We've been together an awful long time. I'd love a dress and I'd love a thingy, but do you know what? I can't. The organisational skills are not my forte at all, and plus the fact that we've been together an awful long time. Someone who works with turned around to him and said, "Are you getting married?" He went, "I'm not there yet."
propose?
He proposed, yes. Took me out for a nice meal and proposed.
Oh.
So, but it took him 10 years to do that. But then we've been together. we've been together an awful long time.
What does he do? I know you work for the NHS. Does he do that as well?
No, he's a service engineer. He works with amusements and stuff. He fixes amusements for a company, so that's what he does. So, but we met online, so that's how we met.
Ah.
So, but we've been together an awful long time. But yeah, marriage isn't a thing. I think I had one friend, I've had 2 people asking the same week about it. No one's asked me for absolutely ages, and now it's 3. But yeah, no one's asked me for absolutely ages. But yeah, we've been together an awful long time.
It's not all it's cracked up to be anyway.
Yeah. I know. I agree with that.
16 years. 16 years.
45.
Oh.
Yeah. 16, and it's not all it's cracked up to be.
No.
Well,
it's fine.
It's
fine, but it's not. Don't fix what's not broken.
Well, that's what I think. We've been together an awful long time. We celebrate our years together since we've been together, but that's about it. Yeah, it's 21 years this year. So he'd be out now if he killed me. I keep telling him that. If you'd have murdered me, you'd be out. You'd have got like 10 years, 7 years. You'd been fine. You'd been out years ago. But no, he's absolutely lovely. He's lovely.
So have you had to adjust your engagement?
Yes, I did. He, I think I was a U at my biggest, and I took it to, because I'm in Birmingham, so obviously I've got the jewellery quarter quite near us. So I took it to get resized, and I think it was resized at was it an M, an L or an M? So I lost it. I think it's about 13 sizes down. And then because what I'd done, I think I was about £7 away from my goal weight. So I thought, right, I'll get my ring done. But then I had to go and take it back and get it resized to size down once I lost those £7. Weirdly, the last bit to go, I'd lost some more off my finger.
I have another question, if it's okay.
No, that's fine.
I know you talk about weighing in. I don't know what a stone is.
A stone is
weighing
£14.
in a stone.
Yeah, it's £14.
Huh?
A stone is £14.
14 pounds. Okay. And I bet you right now, if you talked once about the health system would not let you go to a doctor to have the excess skin removed, I'll bet you you're probably way under your weight, don't you think, because of excess skin that they won't. Did you ever get to do that, or you're still dealing with that?
No, I've still got.
Because I have some.
Yeah, I've still got a lot of excess skin. I think it probably weighs.
You look really good. You look good in your clothing. You really do.
I hide it really well. I'm surprised that I can hide it so well. But it's I think it's probably about a stone. It's probably about £14. Probably about 14.5 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
See, yeah. I mean, gosh, I'd probably cheat on that. I shouldn't say that to you, but I mean, that's. I wish that they would help you with that.
My GP is brilliant. My GP has referred me twice. He referred me the first time. Well, the first time I went to see him, I didn't go to the GP an awful lot, so I hadn't been for absolutely ages, and I think I'd lost, when I went to see him for the first time, I'd lost just over 11 stone when I went to see him, and he sat there for 5 minutes staring at me with his mouth open, and he was just like, how did you do how? And I was like, oh yeah, I just went on a diet basically, and he was like, how? But he set my goal weight, because my goal weight is 13 stone, and my top BMI is 12 stone 1, so that's 13 pounds less than my goal weight. But he would happily have set my goal weight at 15 stone. He would be more than happy to have done that. But he set it for that for me, because I had to get him to write something out for WW. They give you a form if it's above your top BMI. So he'd set my goal weight for me. Then I went to him and said about the excess skin. So he made a referral. He then got a letter back, and I got a letter back saying, no, it's cosmetic. He then wrote again saying that there are issues around this. You need to see her. And I don't think we even got anything back that time. Don't you think we even got a letter back? So, but yeah, he did try for me, and my GP is really good, but there's only so much they can do.
Right.
So, and plus the fact that what I want doing, I want someone in the States to do it. I was talking about it earlier. I want a corset body lift, and I think there's only the one man that does it in the States. So, and he is brilliant, but it's very expensive over there, as you can imagine. But it's everything that I need doing. So it's my arms, my legs, and my stomach, and I need a boob job as well. I don't want a huge boob. I just want them where they should be.
Yeah. Well, I think you look smashing. I really do.
Thank you. I do hide it. It's weird because as I was losing weight, like I've done a video on it, and I do use shapewear. I mean, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I can get away, depending on what I'm wearing. If I'm wearing a dress, if it's like one of the 40s, 50s style ones, I can get away with nothing because of the way that they hang. But the shapewear has had to change as I've gone along, because whereas I used to wear like the short things, the knickers, I can't anymore because that just gives me a stomach. That actually makes me look pregnant, which is why I have to then go to the vest, because that pulls it down, rather than the knickers sort of pull it up, whereas the vest smooths it down. So it's about, as you're losing, if you do have excess skin, it's about choosing the shapewear that is the most flattering for you at the time.
Right.
So... Has anyone got any more questions? Oh, I know you like yoga and swimming. Do you like walking? I don't like walking unless I'm actually walking somewhere. I've realised I don't like running. I've tried it, and I really don't like it. I like it after I've done it, because you get that, like, oh yeah, I've run. But the thought of actually running makes me go, oh God, no. And then when I'm running, I'm going, I'm not really enjoying this, although I can run, which makes me go, oh yeah, I can run for the first time ever. And then I just, at the end, it's like, yeah, I've run, and then it's like, oh God, I hated that. I absolutely hated it. So I don't do running, and where walking's concerned, I've realised unless I'm actually walking somewhere, I don't like that either. I like to have a destination in mind. So it's fine if I go into town or something, I'm walking round town or walking to somewhere, I'm fine, to the shops. But if I'm just walking for the sake of it, I really don't like it. I'd rather just do a session of yoga instead. So, Poppy's asked the best place for shapewear. The best place for shapewear that I found is Primark. However, went in the other day and I didn't have a proper look though. They had some new vests in and I bought one, and they are not the best. Because I've got like a little bit here that is, so I've got my stomach, but then I've got like a second bit here. And normally that's the bit that I tend to try and hide more because it pokes out. Whereas the old shapewear used to pull that in. This one doesn't do it so well. My partner turned around to me the other day and he went, oh, you're looking really skinny today. And I went, I've got some new shapewear on. And he went, and I showed him and he went, yeah, it's not holding you in like the other ones did. There, more than anything. So, yeah, I don't know if they're still doing it, but... Oh, Connie, Sarah's asked where you live.
I live in Lebanon, Kentucky, and it is 10 minutes after 3 in the afternoon here.
What's the weather like?
It's finally starting to warm up a little bit. We've had a lot of rain and wind and all of that, and finally we're getting ready to have some warm weather.
When you get warm weather, is it humid weather or is it just nice?
Yeah, it's humid. Yeah, my hair will curl up and yeah.
I had someone on from Florida the other day and she went, it's awful. She went, it's so humid, It's awful.
Kentucky is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's all kinds of knobs and it's really a pretty state, but it's humid and if you ever come to the States, you can come to Kentucky and I'll take care of you.
Oh, brilliant.
I'll feed you turkey burgers that I make.
Oh, lovely. No, I don't know how you do a diet in America. I really don't. If I lived in America, I would not be able to cope. I'd be huge. All your food is lovely.
Well, and where I live in our population's about 19,000. You know, it's a small town, and we've got a McDonald's, and I know it well. And we've got a Wendy's and an Arby's and a Captain D's, but the Subway, when I pull in or when I walk in, they just start getting my stuff because I go so much. They know what I'm getting. But you know, we don't have a lot of. We're 60 miles from Louisville. We're 60 miles from Lexington. So, yeah.
Your food is absolutely amazing. So, thank you, Julie. I have clicked on the link. I'll have a look in a bit at that one. Thank you. Has anyone got any more questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Connie.
I was a bit late coming on. Have you mentioned about that new app that you're using?
I have, but I can talk about it again. I will
just
be doing
briefly then, because I did miss the start.
No,
I'm sorry
no,
about that. I was late. I didn't realise you had to download the app and everything, and I didn't have it. I only had Zoom.
No, sorry. At least you got it now. It's just it's better doing this than doing the lives because I can't see people and I can't talk. And I end up just waffling on and on and on. Right, the new app that I've got is iTrack Bites. It is, depending on what plan you're doing, it is free for most of them. I think I don't know if it's the purple or the blue that you have to pay for. But it's only £26 for the year, I think. Something like that. The only problem is that it's American. So I never use the search function on it. Because there's no point, because it just comes up with American.
As in the barcode, do you mean?
The barcode's fine. You can use the barcode, and it has got English foods in. People have either put them in, or what I tend to do, because I always double check WW stuff anyway, because I'm a bit funny like that. So I'll go, is that right? Is that the right? So if you go to the barcode, so if I was to scan something, and it came up, I always like to change it to grams, so a lot of it will be in portions as well on this app. So what I've done is I'll scan it and then I'll go to so let me just show you. If you click on the top corner, oh no, I can't do it on that. Hang on. See, I'm still getting to know it. Right, so along the top it's got results, so if you can just search whatever you want. But then if you go to My Foods, once you get your basics in, they stay in. So everything that I've put in is basically in now. So I've got the stuff that I tend to use a lot from Aldi and things are all in there. So things like the protein pots is a serving. And I know that those Aldi protein pots are 3 points each and two are 5. And that's exactly the same on here. But if you want to, you can actually go in and edit it yourself. So you can change it to grams and basically make sure that it's all the same. So, yeah. So it's exactly the same as the WW calculator. But the problem is that the search function just brings American food up. So it will be in ounces and it tends to be in cups and stuff like that. So But once you've got your basic foods in, because I think we all tend to eat the same kind of stuff, don't we? But then the barcode scanner is brilliant. It works a treat. If someone's put something in and they've put it in a serving, like I said, I'll go in and edit it and I'll change it to grams myself, and then I'll put it in. So, but that's only because I'm really picky. I know some people just want to use a serving, and that's absolutely fine. So, but I will do a video on it. I'm still getting to know it. I know I was talking to someone on Instagram, I think the other day, could have been YouTube, and they were saying they've paid the £26 a month, and it does give you a few extra options with sort of eating out and stuff. But then I've gone on to Starbucks website, I've gone on to Greg's website, and all the nutrition information is on there, and I've put it in the calculator in there myself. So it's literally, I've saved everything that I would normally sort of even think about getting. So, But yeah, it's not the easiest app, but then once your basics are in, they're in. Okay. So, but yeah, because it's American, there's a slight problem. But hopefully, if more people in the UK start using it, they may make it a little bit more user friendly for us than it is at the moment. But like I said, once I've got my basics in, I'm sort of set. So I've made sure that because their chicken breast is in ounces, I've then put it in myself. So I've gone to chicken breast, I've put in what the protein is in it and 100 grams, so that I can go in myself and do it, because that's what I prefer to weigh my chicken. So I've done that raw, I've done that grilled, I've done drumsticks, I've done the stuff that I know that I'm going to use a lot, like potatoes. I've put raw potato in myself, but then it's all on that kind of information is all on the web. Is all, if you just Google it, calories in raw potato, you can put it in yourself. Or even if you buy a pack of potatoes, you can scan it and do it. So it's not the most ideal, but then, like I was saying, I've been paying for WW for 5 years now. It's 2 coffees. It's 2 coffees a month I'm saving. And I think it's the fact that as well that a lot of Americans, I was talking to them last time, they don't, when they get to goal, they get it for free.
Yeah, I caught up with the last one. I didn't watch it live, but I caught up and watched it, and I didn't realise that they got it for free.
I didn't. It was the only time that I knew was because I joined Instagram when I got to goal, because my coach went, join Instagram, and I was like, what's Instagram? Join Instagram. So I went, all right then, I'll do that. And then I started to follow like a few Americans that follow WW, and one of them put, oh, this is my, I've got my code for my free. And I was thinking, what, it's free? And I actually messaged her and she went, yeah, once we get to goal, we don't have to pay. And I was like, what? That's really not fair. And even if they did it where if you're at goal for a year and then they gave it to you for free, so that they sort of, but no, it's not. And I was like, well, that's not really very fair. So
no, I can understand why you're a bit annoyed. It is unfair when it's one rule for one and another rule for another. It's the same plan, so
yeah, exactly. And I'm still a WW member, and I can still go and get weighed in class as long as I'm within goal range. I can still go and get weighed in class. So it's just purely the fact that I just don't have access to the app. But that was the bit that I was panicking about, and it was like, well, I'm going to have to pay forever just because I need that app. Well, actually, the way that I approach WW myself anyway, I like to weigh in grams. I like to double check everything. And there are stuff that I've bought like from Aldi, and I've scanned it, and then I've gone down to the nutrition information. I've gone, well, hang on a minute, that's not the same as on the pack. So I've had to work it out again myself.
And some of it's not a member, it is actually WW's done the error. I've noticed that a few times.
So I double check everything anyway, so it's no big deal for me to scan a food on that app and go, right, hang on, let me just change that to grams. Because once you save it on that app, even if a member's put it in, so if you scan it and they've got it on there, once you change it, it's then in your food. So you don't have to then scan it again. Once you know you've scanned it, you can just go to your food and like put the first thing in, which is, I always then change the name of it, because a lot of it won't say Aldi's food or M&S. Like I got the ultra thin pizza today, and when I scanned it in, it is in the app, but it just says ultra thin pizza. Well, I'm never going to search ultra thin pizza. I'm going to put M&S in first, or I'm going to search Aldi. So what I've done is I've gone in, I've double checked, and the information was exactly the same. So the pizza is 14 points, but I've just gone in and edited it and put M&S in front of it, ultra thin pizza, so that when I search it again myself on my app, I put M&S in and it will pop up straight away. So I'll get my whole.
It's frustration when you key something or scan something and then loads of different points. It could be 2 points up to 14 points, and you're like, so then you've got to look and check yourself anyway and see which member has put it incorrect. And sometimes all of them are a little bit out. Maybe they've changed the recipe or something, but that's a bit frustrating.
Oh yeah, that's the annoying thing, and I think that's the bit that's going to be for me the problem, because if I go into a shop and see something and I want to scan it, obviously because it's an American based, it might not necessarily be in there, obviously, because everything's easing up a little bit, I can stand in a shop now and sort of go, right, let me just quickly put the nutrition information in. It's not too bad. But like a few months ago, there was no way I could do that. I'd end up buying stuff and then having to work it out at home. So it's not too bad at the moment, but that's going to be the pain in the bum with that app. It's if I'm out and about. But like I said, I've put all of my Nando's in because because I only eat certain things when I go to somewhere like Nando's and Costa. I stick to specific types of drinks, so that's what I've put in. I know that that's what I'm going to have, so I've just worked the nutrition information out for those things. I don't need anything else. So it took me time, but now they're in. So all my Starbucks is in, all my Costa's in, all my Greggs are in. Got me important stuff down, my Nando's, my Gourmet Burger Kitchen, the kind of places that I will pop into. But then it's stuff like TGI Fridays isn't in the WW app anyway. So there are stuff that isn't even in the app that I would struggle with anyway. So it's not ideal, but because I'm so picky and thingy anyway, I double check stuff anyway, so it's no big deal. And I mean, even stuff like the Gourmet Burger Kitchen, I was looking at the other day, the WW stuff's wrong. I think they're using one of the old menus, so a lot of it was wrong. So whereas I'd be going like quite low points for like the burger, I think the burger was something like 8 points on the WW app, whereas actually it's 12.
Wow.
So it was quite a big difference. But then when I first searched the Gourmet Burger Kitchen, it came up with a menu from a couple of years ago, so I don't know if WW have used that and then not the newer one. But I found recently that there were quite a lot of things that are wrong. And it's WW, it's not members that are wrong, it's WW that's actually got it wrong.
Yeah. You know, because you've been doing it a while, if you see something, can you sort of guess and are you nearly right? Or, I mean, with snacks like crisp, I love, low crisp for 2 points. And I know if they're about 60-something calories, they're about 2 points. Yeah. If they go up to 70-something, they might slip into a 3 point. So I can sort of guess certain things. How are you? Because you've been doing it a while.
I'm pretty much the same. I'm very much like I was saying, I bought these cats going mad. These like
2 points.
I thought they were 3. I thought they were going to be 3 points myself, but no, they're 2. I was quite surprised. I was like, oh, I'm going to get some more of those.
Yeah.
So I
like the sour cream ones of them.
Oh, they were really nice. I prefer those to the barbecue. I haven't tried the salt and vinegar ones because they're 3 points. So I need to.
Which one? Sorry.
They've got salt and vinegar ones.
Oh no,
not balls. See, this is a killer for me. If I have meetings, I've got all my snacks next to me. Got salt and vinegar sticks. They're 3 points each.
Okay.
They were with the rest. I sort of can guess, like bars and biscuits and stuff. So if you get like the little bags of biscuits, they tend to be around 4 points. So I sort of go, yeah, that's kind of right. And most of the time I'm sort of all right. And then sometimes I'm totally out. But that's because that's wishful thinking more than anything. Yeah, that's going to be that many, but no, it's not. But you can sort of guess if something's got cheese in, it's going to be a little bit extra. If something's got this in, it's going to be a little bit extra. But then, like I got the M&S meal today, I had braised beef with carrot and mashed crushed potatoes. I was sure that was going to be about 9-10 points, and it wasn't. It was 5. I was really surprised. It's very nice as well. So even I'm like, really? Any points?
Do you know Milky Way crispy rolls?
Yeah.
Someone put that on Connect the other day, 3 points. So I guessed it was 3 points for the 2 sticks. So I bought them, brings them home, scans them, 3 points per serving. Yeah, a serving is 1 stick. Who has 1 stick? So, and then when you change it to 2, it's actually 7 points.
Yes.
So I was a bit disappointed with
that.
I
was quite surprised. That was 7 points, but some things do surprise me, and I'm like, hang on a minute. It's like what did I have? You know the snacks, the Cadbury snacks, the little 2 biscuits with the
Cadbury's.
Yeah, the little 2 square biscuits that you get in the pack.
Aren't they 2 each?
Well, I saw some the other day. They I go to like a really cheap shop, and they were doing like four chocolate bars for £1. And so I saw like the 4-pack rather than the 2-pack which you get when you buy the multi-pack. They had like 4 in the pack. So I was looking at the back, and it said a serving was 2 biscuits. I'm like, why are you selling 4 biscuits together in the same pack when that's not a serving? That really annoyed, you know, when you're like, that's annoyed me. You can't have a whole chocolate bar as half a serving. It's like a Kit Kat. Even if you buy a 4-finger Kit Kat, I'm sure a serving is only 2 fingers. Who's going to do that? Well, my partner would. He does stuff like that. He'll have half a 12 and leave the other finger on the table in the pack, and then I'll just stand there and go, well, what am I supposed to do with that? I want to eat the chocolate finger. Who leaves half a... He'll have like 1 square of chocolate and leave the rest. It's when he opened my chocolate orange fingers, you know, they started doing the orange chocolate fingers. He opened the pack and had 2. I thought, what am I supposed to do with that? I can't not eat a whole pack of chocolate fingers if they're open. If they're shut, I'm fine, but once you open them, that's it. I'm still a bit of a piggy. Even bottles of Coke are half a bottle per serving. I know, how ridiculous is that? What's your favourite food? Cheese. Cheese has always been my favourite. But weirdly, I've cut back. Before, it was used, when I did Slimming World, it was, I'd use my healthy, my thingy, whatever it is, as
healthy extra.
Healthy extra, yeah. As cheese, and then I'd still have cheese as my sins as well, so I'd have loads of cheese. Whereas now, it's cheddar, really strong mature cheddar, the crunchy stuff. That's the cheese I like. But then I can go without cheese for absolutely ages now. It's really weird. Before it was always cheese. I woke up one day eating and my partner went, what are you eating? In my sleep, and I went, cheese. That's how bad I am. It's like, what? But weirdly, it's not any... I can sort of go, no, actually, I don't need that much. But a little grater makes a huge difference as well. When you get a little grater, it makes a difference.
Do you not fancy camembert?
No, I don't like that. Don't like camembert. Don't like brie. Can't be doing with that. The word, I mean, I can't even do Stilton. I can do Danish blue. I like Danish blue, but I can't touch Stilton.
Do you like the fruity cheeses?
Yes, I'm quite all right with those. But my granddad's sister used to have like massive wheels of Stilton in her freezer, and she'd like cut it off. And my cousin would literally stand there eating it like that, and I'd be like, what the hell? Even now, even though I was a big kid, it was like, no, there's just no way I'm doing that. And I'll tell you the worst thing was Edam. Can't stand the stuff, and they always used to have it on the counter in the supermarket, and I always, every time I'd try it, and then I'd end up like walking around with it in my hand going, oh my god, why did I eat that? Why didn't I just look at what it was? Anne-Marie's got a sweet tooth for chocolate and the same, and have to eat the lot. My partner also just eats 1 square, then leaves it. I really don't understand how they can do that. If I have a chocolate bar, it's all going. I know full well. I'm not even going to lie to myself that I'm not going to eat it, because I will. It's just, I will just keep going until it's gone. Even if I don't feel like it and I don't want any more, I will still keep going until it's all gone. I'm terrible.
Oh, Sarah, my next door neighbour, bought me a foot-long eclair.
Oh, God.
And she said she could eat the whole thing. I had a little piece of it. I was like, I can't eat more than that. And she ate a foot-long eclair.
Thing is, I'm not. It's weird, because I would go out, and you know, like, if you go to Tesco's, they do the packs of cream cakes and stuff. They don't interest me now. I'm just like, if I choose to have a day off, that's not something I would choose to eat. Really
but do you get annoyed when you know that people know that you're trying to be good now, and they will inundate you with sweet stuff and cakes and
chocolate? You see, I'm quite lucky, because when I first started, I didn't tell anyone that I was on a diet, and no one would do it. When they know, they go, oh, go on, you've been ever so good, go on. Go on, have a chocolate bar. We know you've been ever so good. But because I never told anyone, no one ever questioned when I went, no, it's all right. When the biscuits went round in the meetings, and I'd go, no, I'm all right, thanks. No one would say anything, whereas I know full well, if they know that you're on a diet, it would come round again and again and again. Whereas you got to the point where you go round and I go, no, it's all right, I'm having something later, or I've already eaten, or I thought, no one questions it. But as soon as I know you're on a diet, that's when it changes. That makes a huge difference. So yeah, weirdly, people don't buy me food. It's very strange. I'm quite happy about it. But then I'm quite picky with what I have. Like, I'll go, right, do I want that? Don't I want that? Very much like that. So.
Well, I just want to throw it in the bin, but I don't have the heart to, but I just think that's the best place for it.
I have, if I've had a bad day and I'm having a bit of a binge, I have been known to, like, have a bite and chuck the rest in the bin. I'd stand over the bin and literally do it now, whereas I wouldn't have done that before. I would have eaten it. But that's only if I'm having a really bad day. If it's like a chocolate bar, I will just slowly get through it. But yeah, if I'm having a really bad day, I will throw stuff away. But it's taken a while for me to get there because I don't like wasting food. That's part of it as well.
What was the jar you threw away last time?
Oh God, that was terrible. That was Morrison's.
I shouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's fine. Morrison's white chocolate and hazelnut spread. It tastes like, you know, the middle of a Kinder Bueno. That's what it tastes like. It's absolutely amazing. And I still walk past them in the supermarket. I can avoid the aisle because I don't buy bread from Morrison's, but still I will walk past it and see if they've got any. It's terrible. Honestly, it was awful. I was actually in a meeting just eating it with my finger. It was that bad. Don't call on me.
You threw it away in the end.
Yeah.
It was one of those. It was getting to the point where I was feeling really sick as well. You know, when you get to the point where you're like, I really need to stop this because I feel sick, but you're still doing it. It got to that point, and I was like, no, I just can't do this anymore. I need to chuck it away. And I did. I was like, that's it, it's gone. And I put it in my wheelie bin outside because there's no way I'm getting in my wheelie bin outside. I'm not even.
But you want to run in the household bin.
Yeah, it's easy to reach in there, whereas my wheelie bin, there's no way I'm getting in that. Anne-Marie hasn't told anyone I'm dieting yet. Brilliant, you've lost 2 stone, 2 pound. That's really good. You're expecting compliments, but nothing yet. It's really strange. The thing is, I think people don't always want to say, if you haven't told people you're losing weight, people don't always want to say because they don't know if you might be poorly. It's part of it. Because I never told anyone, and I had a lot to lose. It wasn't till I'd lost at least, I think, 5-6 stone, maybe more, that people started to notice. And by that point, one of my colleagues had turned around to me and said, "Oh, someone that we work with has asked me if you're okay, and they want to compliment you on your weight loss, but they don't know if they should or not." So she went, and I've told him that it's fine. It was one of those. It really, I think some people are a little bit like, oh, have they done it on purpose? Have they not done it on purpose? So I think that's what it is with some people. They just don't know what to say, just in case they put the foot in it. So I think that's what it is sometimes as well.
I have a question.
Hello,
you use that, what is it called? Cocoa Locks?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I just ordered some. It should be here in a week. I'm so excited. Do you just mix it straight with your coffee?
Yeah, that's what I do. Because I was having it, because you only use 7 grams at a time, you only use a little bit. So I was making it up as like a hot chocolate with a little bit of water. And it was getting really boring. So I just thought I'm going to chuck it in a coffee like a mocha. But it has helped my hair a lot. It's really strange. It has really helped my hair. So you only use like a small amount, but then because I have a big cup, I only get like a little bit of the chocolatey taste, whereas if I had a little bit of a smaller cup, I'd probably have. I've got a coffee machine, so I just put the Cocoa Locks in, I weigh it out, then I measure out my milk, then I'll just chuck it under my espresso and let it keep, and then just fill it up.
Oh, okay, so you do your like a real latte, not just like a...
Yeah.
Cheap American latte. Okay, got it.
Whack it under the thingy and let the coffee drip through. That's what I do. So yeah, it's but because I can pull out
I'll pull out my French press and make my espresso. I can do that.
Yeah. But if you make it, so if you have like less water, because I put quite a lot of water in mine. I do like a big drink in the morning, so that's what I tend to do. But yeah, it has helped my hair an awful lot. So. Okay. But then I have thought, oh, shall I make it with another one? Because it's I've got a light hot chocolate as well. That's my last one because I did buy 3 because it was really cheap. They were selling it off really, really cheap. Holland and Barrett aren't doing it anymore, which is where I got it from. So I was thinking I might use this lot up and then decide whether I'm going to buy any more or not. But I do like them. I do like a mocha, so I might just use one of my light hot chocolates instead to give it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if to do that or just get cocoa nibs.
Yeah, that would probably work.
To do, but I'm not sure I'd like just the cocoa nibs.
Yeah, because we I don't know if you have light hot chocolate over there. We've got quite a few brands of light.
We don't have. We have some. Yes, we have. What you're probably calling hot chocolate is what we call drinking chocolate.
Yeah.
Our hot chocolate is powder and gross, unless you make it from scratch.
Yes, we have different ones. So we've got cocoa powder, which is that. So you make that up with milk, whereas a lot of our companies have done it where the milk is in it. So we have brands like Galaxy, Chocolate Options, and Highlights, which are already made up, and you literally just add water to rather than adding milk to. Yeah. So they're the ones that I've got, because the Galaxy Light one that we have is it's really chocolatey and really quite nice, and I have used that and the Cocoa Locks together as well. Okay. But obviously that takes my points up, so it depends if I want to use 2 points on hot chocolate.
I'm just curious. My aunt and I are just intrigued by your choices, and I told her, I said, why don't you get on Amazon and find them?
I know she messaged me the other day and said I'm at work and I can't come. So I went, I'll try and do another one. I'll try and keep them to the weekend every so often. I'll do one in the weekend.
I just happened to get off work early because I'm supposed to be at work too, but I had an appointment. I was like, I'm leaving work early. I'm gonna go to that meet.
It's lovely to see you again. I know she was like, I'm at work. Can't believe I'm at work. I was like, it's all right. I'll try and do the next one at the weekend. So, but yeah, that's what it has helped my hair, actually. Strangely, it really has helped my hair. I didn't think it would. I thought, that's not going to work.
What's in it that helps your hair?
I have no idea. It's got like vitamins and minerals in.
All sorts of things they list on the thing. Like, I don't even know, but I was like, I just want the chocolate.
Yeah. The thing is, I bought it from Holland and Barrett had it. You know when you go to like the front of the store and they're selling stuff off really cheap because it's the date is really, really short. It was like, it's supposed to be 25 quid and they were selling it for like 2.50.
Ooh.
So I was like, I have tried it before. I tried it a few years ago, so I thought, right, I'll try it again. So I bought 3 boxes because I thought it's only £2.50. So that's like 3 months worth. It's a month's worth if you use it every day. And then I was like, well, shall I point it or not? Because it is only a point a day. But then when I put 7 days worth in, it took it to like 10 points. So obviously that's 10 points a week that I'd be using that technically would be 7 points if I just do it daily. But then I thought if I do it over 7 days, that would be 10 points that I wouldn't be pointing. So I thought, right, I will use it and I will just point. It's 1 point. So, but I think I've got about 2 weeks worth left. Probably about 2-3 weeks worth left. And then I went into Holland & Barrett the other day and they've not got any at all. And then I went on their website and they're not selling it either because they've got the penny sale on. So I thought, oh, shall I get it on the penny sale? But they haven't even got it on that. So I think they might have stopped doing it. But it is available online. You can still get it.
Yeah, I had to order it from the company direct.
Yeah. I was having a look at that, so I'll decide. But I do take a hair, skin and nail tablet anyway. But that has worked because I turned around to my partner. You know when you're like, is that really helping? And I was like, yes it is, no it's not. And I turned around to my partner and said, is it? And he went, yeah, it has helped. Because the only other thing that's helped before is something, I think it's called Norkin or something. But that's really expensive. You're looking at like 100 quid. Plus for a month's worth supply and stuff. That's quite expensive, but that does work as well to stick in your hair. So,
have you tried minoxidil from the Boots?
I haven't tried that one, no. But I mean, when I went into Holland & Barrett, they did have some of the hair stuff quite cheap. They were trying to sell it off, but you're still looking at, even though it was cheap, you're still looking at like 50 quid for a month's worth supply. Which is ridiculous. And it's like, how long are you then going to have to use it for? So it's all well and good if I use it for a couple of months and it helps, but then if I stop using it, is it then going to stop helping? So it's one of those. It's a lot of money just to try something just in case it's going to work. So whereas the hot chocolate is actually working, and £25 a month isn't too bad. But if I can get it for £2.50, that's even better. So I need to go and try another Holland and Marrot. See if I can find if they're selling it off anywhere else. So, someone said to get the men's stuff, not the women's, because the men's is cheaper and it's exactly the same. I have to give some to my partner as well. So, has anyone got any more questions? No. It was lovely again. It's so nice to be able to actually talk, interact with people rather than just have a load of questions down the side. I'll probably do one not this weekend, probably next weekend if anyone wants to come. I do prefer this format. I've recorded it, but I've just recorded me, so no one can see you. They can just see my mush. But they can hear you. But we haven't swore. We haven't done anything bad. That's good. So thank you everyone for coming. Really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Goodbye.
Thank you.